Hey, Patrice.
Oh, hey, Marilyn. What you doing here?
Hey. And welcome everyone. Welcome everyone in the chat. I'm sorry I'm late. I was on the couch just working in Embrilliance and the time got away from me. I got up here. Patrice was sitting there waiting on me. She was sitting there waiting on me. So I apologize. But thank you guys so much for being here tonight.
I didn't know what day it was. I was like, is it Thursday?
Where is she?
Is it Eastern Standard Time? Or is it Central?
Right. Like, oh, Marilyn, come on, Marilyn, get on here. But welcome, everyone. Welcome. So tonight, I'm going to spend most of my time working on or showing you in Embrilliance and in Silhouette Studio kind of how you can do the embroidery and bling designs that Patrice has like made all the rage. They are so cute, and she's done so many of them. She has another one she's going to show us tonight. But she did mention on live that she was doing hers in Chroma, and Marilyn was going to do one in Embrilliance. So I've been really working on it. And Patrice, I love that push. And I've learned a ton over the last week and a half in Embrilliance. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm going to do tonight. What are you going to do tonight, Patrice?
I'm just going to stitch out. So next week, Friday, guys, we're having a Valentine's live on Craftable Things. And I made a Valentine's Day shirt or a design for us to wear. And let me show you.
It's adorable.
So I'm about to stitch one out now for Dimps because y'all know Dimps is hoop challenged because she has a 4x4 hoop. And she wants me to make her a Valentine's Day design. So I made this for us to wear next week. This was my test stitch that I did like 20 minutes before we started. But I love how it came out. So this is what I'm going to be stitching out on a white shirt for Dempsey Boo. But it's not, I think I'm going to use red because she likes red.
Oh, yes, she loves red.
So I'm going to do red for Dimps. And that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. We're going to be stitching this out on a sweatshirt. It's stitched out beautifully. So I'm happy about it, guys. I'm happy about it.
I'm happy about it, too.
Yes. So we're going to be doing, I don't know what we're going to be doing for Valentine's, but just hanging out with the gals. Well, Marilyn and I are the gals. You guys too in the chat.
Yes. So will you be putting that up on your site for sale before then so that any gal pal out there that wants to make them can make them?
I will, and I'll put it up on my website, and then but I'll also, it's like about 10.5 inches wide. It's not really high or long, so I'll put it on my website, and then I'll also put it inside of our members area. So Marilyn, put it in your members area, and I'll put it in my members area for a happy Valentine's Day to you guys.
That is so sweet, and that reminds me, I finished. So let me show you what I've been working on. I've been doing tons of these. Oh gosh, now where are they? Where'd they go? I've been doing a ton of the shaker tags. Oh my goodness, did I take them downstairs to show Tim? Here's a couple of them over here. Oh lordy.
Uh-oh.
We're
shaker tags tomorrow night, guys. Shaker tags, and we're going to be doing a little bit of bigger bling. Big bling.
Hi there.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Tim.
Hey, Patrice, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tim.
What I love about you is you're always so upbeat.
Yes.
Aw, thank you, Tim.
All right, I'll get on your way.
See ya. Okay, so I've been making shaker tags, and I'm having a hard time figuring out exactly how much glitter. That's not enough glitter. That's too much glitter.
Oh, I mean, let's see. If you shake it down, does it?
Well, yeah.
No, it's a lot, but it's not too much. Do you want to tell everybody all the stuff that you need for tomorrow night if they want to do it?
Yes. Okay, here's one more over here. This one is just about the right amount of glitter. That one is just about the right amount of glitter.
Oh, that's cute.
And I got this fabric. Thank you. I got this fabric at Michael's. It was only $1 something a yard. Let me cut off a little piece. Okay, so you know when you go to conferences or conventions, and you often get those little tote bags that are almost like a fabric paper mixture. That's what's on the back side of this. So very thin, fabricy, papery feeling. And then it has this, what did I do wrong? I have my camera on the wrong side. Then it has this coating on top of it. And these are really nice for these shaker tags. What I've discovered is, I think I have a lot of static in these. So I did bring up a dryer sheet so that before I put the plastic on the top on, I'm going to rub it with the dryer sheet. But for the shaker tags, and I have this file ready in PES, DST, Husk, all of them. There's like 7 that I have it in. And I'm going to go ahead and post that in the members tab tonight. Now, I did straighten the big heart up, and then I have this one off kilter. So it'll look a little bit different than this. Just very little difference. But I'll put that in the members tab tonight. So what I've been using for these is something for the background fabric, and something like a thin faux leather, something like a vinyl. I think those work really well. I have another piece of the same thing for the back side also. So 2 little pieces of that. And then my thread, my machine, and glitter. And then some, ribbon or whatever you want to put on them. So it doesn't take much. Now this top piece is clear vinyl, and it is 4mm plastic sheeting. So like Home Depot or any of those places, I'm using 4mm. So I have so much stuff over here on top of this, and I have a ton of pieces of tape around it because I've been using a lot of tape on these things. But
Stacy, thank you, Stacy. So, okay, you have a few questions. I think somebody's asking, what do you use them for? Shaker tags is just like decorative. I don't know if you guys have seen like people walk around with like different, they look like keychains, but not. Just decorative for your bags. A lot of the kids do it a lot. Like I know at school they have they may have like small stuffed animals, like it just looks like a whole lot. It's very decorative. But Marilyn, Stacy gifted 5 memberships.
Oh my goodness! Ring, 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 ring. Where's my bell? Where's my bell? Ding, 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 ding. Stacy, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let me see if I can see who got them because I have my phone right here. Stacy, that's so sweet. Okay, so Unbiased, Bonetta, Lisa ZD, Minerva, and Marge Roach. Wow. Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so the top piece is just this clear sheeting that you can get at Home Depot, Harbor Freight, and I'm using 4mm. So the top, the background fabric, whatever you want to use, your machine, whether it's single needle, multi-needle, your thread, and your glitter, and then whatever ribbon or hardware you want to put into it. So yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow night with Eve over on Patrice's channel. Oh, and at the time I made my thumbnail, I didn't know Patrice was going to say yes to me, so I need to add her channel in the video description. Okay, so I haven't said hi to a single person yet. Let me go ahead and start by saying hi to a few people. Hey, Carla and Rosalind, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Rosetta and Tanya. Hey, Unbiased and Donzelle, good to see you. Hey, Addie and Zelda. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Brandy and Stacy. Thank you again so much. And let's see, Mary Brown. Hey, Kelly and Sylvia, Nicole, Retired Crafter, Jennifer, Sharon Davenport, Faye, Pamela, Elba, Dorica, Bobby, Creative Notions. Okay, I'm gonna start scrolling down. Carrie Crafts, I see you, Jennifer, Kim Redding. All right, I'm gonna scroll down so we can get started. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Patrice, your shirt is blinging.
Marilyn, I got so many compliments on this shirt today. I was like, they're like, where'd you get that from? I was like, this crafter made it for me.
Oh, hey Shay. Okay, so far I've made a couple of these designs, and they're not all that great yet. And the first one that I did, actually, because I was being lazy, I just used a fill stitch. I didn't use a satin column because I wanted to work on the rhinestoning, and it says do it scared. I don't love how the fill stitch turned out, and I feel like the fill stitch contracts it more.
Wait, let me see, Marilyn. Hold it back up again. Well, it still looks good though.
Yeah, I don't love the font, and I really don't like the fill stitch. And I can see it's not the underlay, but I can see the edging outside my fill stitch. So I'd need to do what Unbiased taught me how to do and get that tucked underneath. But that was the first one that I did. And then I started really practicing on doing columns by hand, doing satin columns by hand. Because when you put especially script fonts into Embrilliance and you try to auto digitize it, it turns out kind of icky.
Yeah.
And so then I worked on this. I did 2 things of this. So let me look at the cheat notes on the back. Okay, so one of them, this one, I used a triple bean stitch under it to try to give it more stabilization. It did kind of pull it up a little bit more than I would like, but it says seek refuge with a cross on it. And then Patrice was saying, Marilyn, just try 2 pieces of stabilizer without the bean stitch. See how that works? I think the stitching looks a little bit better, looks smoother. I do have a few things that aren't perfect that I'm going to fix, but let me show you how let me add this to the stage. Oh. Okay, I do have the sound turned off. Let me show you how the rhinestone design fits in there, because it fits pretty darn well. So I had 2 pieces of stabilizer. One piece was a no-show mesh, and I used basting spray anywhere where it was in the hoop, so it really hold it nice. And then I had a second piece of stabilizer on the back, just a temporary stabilization, because it's tearaway, and I know if you tear it, don't wear it. This has the no-show mesh that's always going to stay on it, and then I tore away most of the other stabilizer. Okay, so then I brushed in my bling design. I'm not going to press this on because this is just a scrap of fabric, an old t-shirt. But when I lay the design down in there, okay, I'm just focusing on the top right now. Let me move it over and up a little bit. I think maybe you're always going to have a little bit bigger gap out here because the stitches are doing some contracting. But I was pretty pleased. I was pretty pleased with how this turned out.
That looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Again,
and you know, that overlay, like the outer part, makes it like really pop out. I think, like the offset.
Yes. Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, I started with a little bit larger offset than, you know, if you were doing it around rhinestones or, I don't know, if you were designing just to be with HTV. The outline, I'd probably have it closer to the letters, but I actually do like that space around it. And I felt like for the embroidery and bling files, a little bit of extra space gives you a little more cushion, because sometimes, and you can tell it's done it a little bit here, there's a little more space out here and here than there is in here because the stitches are contracting a little bit. But I think that lines up about as well as I think I can get it, and I'm happy with it. So I wanted to show tonight what I've learned through Patrice and others, and that is how to use how to draw satin columns to make letters, because I think they're going to turn out much prettier, especially on a script font, if you make your own, if you draw your own columns. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm not an expert at it, but I'm working at it. And so I want to share with you what I've learned so far. Now, is it going to be perfect? Am I going to make mistakes? Probably. And I might have to go backwards. But let's see. Patrice, before I get started, do you want to show anything else? Nope. I think she's muted. She's just going to work away while I do this. Okay.
You can't hear me, Mary Bear?
I can now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think I said nope. I just said no.
Oh, okay. All
Mary,
right.
I've learned to say no.
No.
Except when you called to ask me to come on, but I asked you today.
Oh, Patrice. Okay, I gotta quit looking over here because the camera's over here. Usually I have it flipped on live, so if I'm looking in the wrong place, I apologize. It's opposite of what I usually do. Hey, Dimps. Let's see. Sharon says, I'm so glad you've gotten Embrilliance, learning a lot from you. Thank you very much. And I'm still learning. But I have taken a deep dive into Embrilliance so that hopefully, especially for people that are new to it, I'm not an expert in Embrilliance, but I think I explain things okay. And so I want to share what I've learned. So let's... Well, Keisha, usually my camera's always over there. And so usually on live, so I'm fine, but I'm just going to have to remember to look this way instead or flip my camera. But thank you, everyone that's coming in. Welcome. Patrice is working on a Gal Pal shirt, and I'm just going to do a little bit in Embrilliance. I'm going to play around in Embrilliance and show you what I've learned so far about this. So let me... let's see. Let me go ahead and share my screen. But you are learning it and you explain in a way that I can understand. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So let's bring up Embrilliance. This is what my Embrilliance looks like because I turned the yellow background to white, because it's just less distracting to me. And at this point, I'm working in an 11 by 7 7/8 inch hoop. That's just one of them that I have in the settings. And even when I'm making like little shaker tags and things like that, I typically just work here instead of changing the hoop size. Thank you. Thanks, Ron. Learning and sharing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Winnie. Now, I also may have a question for the experts out there because I had something weird happen in my file that I'm going to show you maybe in a little bit and see if you understand why. But in Embrilliance, and let me show you something else. I have Embrilliance. I have Essentials, Stitch Artist 1 through 3. I also have Thumbnailer, but that really has nothing to do with digitizing. It's just how I can see my files on my computer. I also have a demo. And I know I heard somebody say recently, you can't have Embrilliance and a demo at the same time, but I do. And so what I like to do, let's just open the demo. I can say, okay, if I have Essentials and Stitch Artist 1, what can I do? So let's say, okay. And you can see right here that this is my demo version. This is not the real thing. Also notice the background is yellow. So I looked in this today to see, can I do what I want to do tonight in this? And have a question about bling design. Should I just wait until you guys get it? Get to it. Winnie, you can go ahead and ask it. I can stop in the middle of this when it comes over. Okay, if I see it. If I don't, I'll come back to it or you can retype it. But I went up here to the Create Designs. I clicked on that. And lo and behold, I could bring in text from my computer, but there's no satin column icon for me to be able to draw in satin columns. So I could do a fill stitch. I could do, I could have them add a satin border. I could do an applique, but I can't do what I really want to do tonight. So let's get out of that. So then next I went back into it and I said, okay, let's see if you can do this with Stitch Artist Level 2. And I'm pretty sure that's where I was able to do it. So if I click on the Create Designs button, go over here to the TT, which means fonts on my computer. And then here is the draw column, basically draw satin columns. So if you have Stitch Artist 2, let's close out one more time. Because like I started with Stitch Artist 2 and not even Essentials. So let's get rid of Essentials. Let's go to Stitch Artist 2. Let's see if this works. Okay, I have both things I need. Now, if I wanted to color sort, I cannot. Color sort is an Essentials feature. So if I go back into the demo and I say, okay, just give me Stitch Artist 3, which includes Stitch Artist 1 and 2, and I say, okay. And let's say I type something. I'm just going to type hi. And I turn that into an applique. Let me just make it the way I like it, satin stitch. Okay, you can see this first yellow is the position stitch, placement or position stitch. The second yellow is the tack down stitch, and the gray is your actual outline. So if you try to stitch this, it does the position stitch for the H, the tack down stitch for the H, and then the border. Then you have to start all over for each letter. That's very inefficient. Okay, when he says, I cut out a design and in removing those dots left over a few of the holes, is that going to mess up my brushing in rhinestones? I just can't get my Juliet to cut out all the holes. Oh no. So Winnie, you can't pull the hole out with like a heating tool or anything. What I have done in the past, because my Cricut used to not cut all the holes out quite all the way, and I would use a leather punch and I would punch out where the holes didn't come out, because you are going to, yeah, your design's not going to look quite right if all the holes don't cut out. So I'd try to pull them out with a weeding tool. If that doesn't work, I don't know if you have a leather punch set, but you can use one of the punches in it, punch a hole there. That's what I used to have to do. So Baden, let's try it. Let's try it. I don't think you can, but let's see. Because you can't save from this, but I don't know. Maybe you can copy and paste them. But let me show you here. So remember, I only have Stitch Artist 3 on here right now. If I go to Utility, there is no color sort. For color sort, you have to have Essentials. And so if I go back to the demo and I keep Essentials on and Stitch Artist 3, then we'll be able to do it. So let me just go ahead and type hi again. And let's turn it into an applique. I don't usually use that applique button to do my applique. I like to do a run stitch for the placement, a run stitch for the tack down, and then the satin border. I like to kind of manipulate them myself. But this is going to be faster. So now let's go up to Utility and Color Sort. It's going to tell you that you've reduced your color changes by 6. And then now you will see that it does all of your placement stitches first, Then it does all of your tack down stitches. And then finally it does all of your satin border, or this is an E-blanket or something like that stitch. So let's try to copy and paste this. Let's just go ahead and select it. I'm going to copy it. And then let's try. Nope, it wouldn't do it. It would not do it, darn it, but a good idea. If the holes don't get covered with the stones, yes, that's another thing. If you don't have too many like that, you can hand place those stones. Okay, so what I want to start with tonight is I want to start by showing you how I learned to, or what I've learned in drawing with columns. So typically, if I'm going to do a bling and embroidery design, I'm going to make the design in Silhouette Studio because I have to make my rhinestones here anyway. And so if I get the word exactly the way I want it, and then I put my bling around it, then I would just pull that design over. I would typically not do the original word in Embrilliance, but we'll go ahead and do it that way tonight. Flock is so sticky that it's ripped a couple of holes. Yes, you can put it back down. If they rip, you can put it back down and shove it down. As long as those rips are together, it'll still work fine. Okay, so here's the steps. We're going to go up here to this Create Designs. I'm going to click on this TT, which stands for True Type Art, but not only True Type fonts come in, you can use your open type fonts as well. So we'll click on that. And I'm going to start with just a really, really simple, I'm going to say him. And I want to make it larger. And I would probably make it taller. And then, as I always do, I would put it in the center of the hoop. Now, these are going to make satin columns that are too wide, really, for the machine, but we're not going to stitch this out, so it'll be okay. You're just going to pick your font, and then here's how you draw with the satin columns. Well, first, let me show you what it looks like if you have them do the satin columns. So let's take a look at this. Let's make it lighter so you can see it. And that's actually better than I thought it would look, but I still don't like the way it's angled there. Let's see how it would stitch out. There's certain letters like script R's, script S's that really don't look very good. Okay, that didn't do a bad job, but we're going to do it by hand anyway. So let me go ahead and get rid of the stitches. Oops, didn't mean to get rid of the M. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and select, I'm going to do this H. So I'm going to go up to Create Designs, and here's the satin columns thing. So I'm going to click on it, and then I want to zoom in quite a bit. Sorry about my screen moving. Okay, zoom in before you click on that up there. Okay. Sorry, it's probably going to do it one more time because I need to make it smaller. Okay, now we're ready. So we're going to click on the Draw with Satin Columns. I think I already did. Yep. Then I'm going to just go from left to right, or you can start right to left. It's called left to right, but you can go in either direction. But you're just alternating sides, plotting nodes or plotting points. Now with this H, I think that I want to go all the way from the top to the bottom on this side. I want to go from top to bottom on this side. And then I want this to be tucked under those two sides. And so I'm probably going to have to change the order here in just a little bit. Why not, Marilyn? It is better to design in Silhouette Studio and bring into Embrilliance. Is it because that would consider the original design file? Because I just feel like if I'm going to be doing the bling anyway, I might as well just type the word out there the way I like it, get the bling set up, and then bring it over. But you can save in here as an SVG. Patrice also learned that you can upload an embroidery design in Silhouette Studio. Now, it took a little longer, but honestly, what I have found is when I have been saving designs in here and taking them into Silhouette Studio, I don't think that the lines are nearly as crisp, but you know, I could be doing something wrong. But my thing is you have to do the rhinestones in that Silhouette Studio Business Edition anyway. So I just assume do my word, do the rhinestones, then take the word into Embrilliance. I think it's a smoother workflow for me, for the way my brain works. Let's see, can you make applique and stitch artist one? Dee Dee, we'll go back to that here in just a little bit. Remind me later, and we'll look at it. Okay, so when you're drawing with these points, so to speak, there's different types of points. So there's corner points, there's rounded, there's cusp, and we're going to kind of talk about what those are as we go. And I tend to only mark the corners, and then once I get into the design, if I need a cusp instead of a curve, and I'll explain more what that does when I show you, then I change it there. I change it as I need to. Okay, so on the Mac for corners, and this is if your corner is really, really squared off, not if there's any slight curve to it or anything. You're going to hit the Command, and then you're going to put the crosshairs in that top left corner, and you're going to click. Now I'm still holding down the Command because this is another corner, and anything's not perfect we can fix later. So I click, I come to this bottom one. Since this is perfectly straight, I don't need to do a bunch of them all the way down. I can come all the way down here. I click, I still have my Command held down. And then lastly here, I'm going to click, and then I'm going to hit the return button or the enter button. And so let's turn into color where we can see it a little bit better. I like them to be lighter colors because you can see more of the texture and all that. Okay, so whoops, let's go over here and look and see how I did. When you click on this and you grab one of those nodes, if I grab that and I act like I'm going to move it, it shows you, are you really on the line? And I think I'm pretty well on the line there. I think I'm pretty well on the line everywhere. So now I want to go ahead and I want to do this other side. So I'm going to say that I want to draw again, and that one that disappeared will come back. I'm going to do corners again. So I'm holding the Command button, clicking only in 4 places. And then I let up on the Command, hit the return button, and now I have my second satin column. Now in the middle here, and we're not even going to do the I because it would be just like doing this H. We'll do the M. But in the middle here, I don't want the middle to end right there because I might get, you know, too much of a gap. So I do want it to tuck under the sides. So let me show you what we're going to do. You always have to go back up here to say draw a column. And these are all corners also. So I'm going to go a little bit left of this so that it will stitch under what I already did. So I'm going to click here, and I want these to go up and down. So now I have to go down here. I'm going to click just to the left of that. I'm still holding down my Command. I'm going just to the right so that it's going to end under the upright of the right side of that. Click down here. Still have that Command down because they're all corners. Let up on the Command and hit return. So right now this looks bad because this is just ending out here in the middle of that. So I need this, the middle of the H, I need it to stitch before the 2 side columns. So, and I don't do this very well. You can click on it and drag it up, but sometimes mine doesn't like that. It worked this time. if it doesn't work well for you that way, you can go up to Edit, Sequence Object, and say move earlier, move later, move first, move last. Okay, but I like how that looks. So here's how it would stitch out. It would stitch that horizontal piece first. Then it would go back and stitch that left upright and then the right upright. And our H is done. Now with a curvy letter, Patrice, anytime you have something to say, chime on in, honey.
Okay. You're teaching, Marilyn.
Well, it's okay if you know more about this than I do. Okay, so we're going to come to the M, and I'm going to do this first. Then I'm going to add all the way to there. And then in a third segment, I'm going to add this part. And we may have to rearrange those as well. And then after this, we'll do something that's more of a script font. Okay, so I see unbiased say duplicate. You know, earlier today, I tried to duplicate my left upright of the H to the right, and I couldn't get it to work. Yeah, Kristen, it's an amazing program. Okay, so we're going to go back to the create icon and then this column thingy. Click on it. I'm just going to do one rectangle here. So because this is a very squared off corner, I'm going to hold the command button down. I move to the right. You move in the direction you want your stitches to go. Then I still have command down. I'm moving all the way down here, then to this corner, and let go of the command and hit the return. Now, you can see that there is part of the M that goes way down here. If I want to, I can make some little bitty stitches way down there that would go under here. Or if I want to just connect them more up in this area, I can do that. Let's start about down here. Okay, so we have to click on that again. And I'm just going to start about right here. I am not holding the command down now because none of this is going to be corners. Okay. It's easy once you get used to it. It's a lot to learn. Double applique in SA level 1 also, please. Okay, so when we get to a little bit later, you guys put those back in there. I did do a double applique video, and I can't remember what I used, but I do have that out there. So we're going to click. We're going to go over a little bit. We're going to go up and over a little bit. There's also lines of inclination, and I'll show those to you in a minute. And I want this to start kind of curving. Now, when I'm doing this, I turn off my hidden stitches feature because I want to determine what stitches show and what stitches don't show. But notice I'm going to the left of this because I want them hidden under this side over here. And I'm going to start turning, and I'm going to go up beyond that just a little bit. And like I'm probably in the end going to move this over. But you can do all of that at the end. Notice that. We'll fix that in a little bit. Okay, let's see if I can move this down. And unbiased, don't laugh at me. You're probably like, girl, is that really the best way you think you should do this? I'm a problem solver. I just keep working until I get where I wanted to be. So we're just going left to right. As long as you alternate, doesn't matter if you start left or right. Okay, so now I want to go past this. Actually, let's go to it first. Then on the next one, I'll go past it. And let's see, let's go about right there. Now I can start spreading out how often I click. And I'll fix that little mess up there in a little bit. once it becomes second nature to you, I think you can tell it, you know what you're going to need there, whether it's a cusp, whether it's a curve. I'm kind of new to this. Okay, so now I'm going to go down here and I am going to hit the command because it's a corner and this is a corner, and then we're going to see what it looks like, and then we're going to go back and fix what I need to fix. Okay, so first of all, this should be on top of that, and it will be eventually, but we can go ahead and move it down. There we go. Now, that looks terrible, so let's make it larger. Let's click on here and find this node. Let's start dragging it out. Now, here's one of the issues is it's going over to there. So I need to pull this down a little bit and see how that followed the line a little bit better. Over here, I'm going to do something kind of different, though, in a minute. Let's pull this one in. Okay, let's look at this right here. See this one? If I pull it out, the other part of the handle, well, actually I didn't do it. I didn't have to turn it into a cusp. Okay, I know that looks bad. We're going to fix it. And this is kind of like moving rhinestones around, in my opinion. Okay, see how when I grab this one, both sides, both handles go at the same time? That's because it's a curve node. If I want to be able to change one at a time, it's blue, so that's the one selected. I right click, and then I could say cusp, and now it's going to let me just move one at a time. And so that's a feature that's good to know. I think these need to be over quite a bit. And let's see. Let's turn that one into a cusp. And then I can pull this over independently. Okay, I don't know that that's too perfect at all. I can still play with it, but I don't want to take too much time. Basically, you're going to look and see what looks like it's following the letter, what looks like it isn't, and then you can change some of those. Also, look at how close I am down here. So let's change this line of inclination. Hey, Eve. So if I drag this yellow thing, it's just telling the stitches what direction to go in. So I can spread those apart a little bit. Let's keep spreading it apart a little bit more. And okay. So that doesn't look too bad. I see a little bit right there that's peeking out that I could make a little bit better. But really it's not too bad. And of course, I have it blown way up so you see all those things. Now, remember this is hidden under this left column, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So then the last thing I would do is basically the same thing over here. And I would make sure that this is the very last thing that stitches because I want it to be on the top. This is the second to the last thing, and then this is the first thing. Let's just do it fairly quickly. It may not look so great, but let's do it fairly quickly. Patrice, are you bored over there yet?
Oh, no, girl. I'm already done stitching that out. I'm going to stitch out another one.
Oh, okay. We'll turn you on here in just a second.
I still got to wing it out, but it's
okay.
Keep working. Keep working.
Okay, so we're just going to do this again. I'm not going to take as much time. We're just going to see the order in which it stitches. Because again, moving all these things around is kind of like moving all your rhinestones around. I can show how you do it, but doing it is kind of a art form art form that you would learn on your own. So now I have the command held down because this is a corner. Get to this corner, I'm going to hit the return button, and I want to straighten this out a little bit. Let's straighten this one out a little bit. Let's look at this. Let's see. I want to zoom in, but it's probably going to go crazy again. See, these are a little wobbly. Those need fixed. Let's see. This one, we can pull this out and fix that. These little grab bars come in super duper handy. But what I want to do is go back up here. So click on that. It has grab bars going both ways. So notice how when I pull that out, the bottom one is coming in. So it is selected. It's blue. So I'm going to right click. Whoops. I'm going to, okay. I'm going to right click. Trying to right click on my keyboard. There we go. And we'll turn it into a cusp. And to me, what that means is I can move one handle at a time. I don't know the technical terms of what it is, but if I turn it to a cusp, I can move one grab bar at a time instead of it doing that. So let's turn this one into a cusp. You can drag this outward and that pulls it. Sometimes dragging them this way helps. You just kind of play with them until you get them where you want them. So now this one, let's see. Yep. I think I had the same issue. Yes. So let's turn that into a cusp. And like I said earlier, I think people that know really what they're doing, they know to make this a cusp when they design it versus me who fixes it later. And I'm sure I'll get there, but actually learning to fix them is kind of nice. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. We're going to call it good. And this one is on top. Let's see, this one, I want it to stitch before this one. So you can see over here on the right, when I click on them, what's what. I want to move this up to there. And now I think it would look the way I want it to look. So let's run that stitch simulator. So it's doing the H over there. Then it's coming to the M, doing that right side. Then it's going to do that middle one. And then lastly, and notice right here how pretty it looks when the correct one stitches first. And then it's going to go over to the up and down thing. And I could probably have the transition right here be a little bit better. There we go. And boy, let me zoom way in. So I think it's under there. I would probably just move it over to the left. See, it's meeting up with that other side. There we go. Much smoother transition there than what I had. And then I think this needs to come down a little bit. Anyway, that is how you work with columns in Embrilliance. And it's just opened up a whole new world to me. Okay, well, let's pull Patrice over and have her show us what she's doing. And then there were a couple things like, can you do the double applique? And there was another question. So we can go back into Embrilliance and play around with what you guys were asking. But let's check it out.
Look at Dempsey's sweatshirt.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's so cute. I love it. Makes me kind of want a red, pink, and black one. See?
What?
Makes me kind of want to make one of these for me.
Like what color did you make yours?
I'm gonna make mine black, of course. Black.
Black shirt, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go with teal and pink, like I always do. I don't know.
That's
But
cute.
I love how it came out. It looks super cute.
So that pinkish red, I have one that's similar to that. Is that a candle thread?
Yeah, these are all candle thread.
That's cute.
Thank you.
Dempsey said, thank you so much. Everybody says, I love it, super cute.
Dems, did you hear me tell them that you were hoop challenged? Sorry. I'm sorry to say that, Dems, but it's true. It's very true.
Oh, everybody loves it. Super cute. Okay, I can't wait to be able to do that stuff, says Brandy. Brandy's dandy. She put in somebody's chat within the last few days that she got a big 15 needle. I think it's a pull and buy is what she got.
Oh, awesome. Marilyn,
Yeah.
I'll show you this. So you see how this is exactly how the stones should lay around the design, right? I did not even do the bean stitch, like the run stitch. I didn't. All I did was do 2 of the pieces of stabilizer. And I kind of felt like Barb was kind of hinting at that to me the other night because she was like, what's the weight of the stabilizer? And these are 2.5 ounce pieces. Each is 2.5 ounce pieces. But each time and this is with it on the fabric, each time I used the double stabilizer, like this was just my test stitch, but it's two pieces of stabilizer. Oh, it's falling now, but it's literally perfect. Let me show you. Let me show you, girl. Let me show you. And I'll show you my other one that I did like this morning before I left because I've been super obsessed with it. So like just making sure. So before I left for work today, I did the same thing. So this was the one that I did. You see how like there's no like it's supposed to have like a little bit of an outline, but this one didn't have an outline at all. And look how
Yeah. It fits in there great.
The double stabilizer, this one too, like the double stabilizer really makes the biggest difference, I think, as far as getting it almost perfect.
And did you use any basting spray?
Nothing.
No.
Only the stabilizer, girl. Only the stabilizer. 2 pieces. That's it.
Those of you that have been around a long time might remember back in the day when Patrice started embroidery and she loved her basting spray. I love my basting spray, but I can remember you say use it sparingly. Use it sparingly. Tell her to send the test stitch. Oh, she wants your test stitch out too. She'll do what Rachel did and make that into something.
Dempsey, okay, I'll send it.
Angel B says she's always used 2 pieces of stabilizer. On my multi-needle, I do too. They told me to.
That makes a difference.
Is the candle thread 60 weight? Now I can't remember if the bobbin 60 and the candle weight's 40 or if it's vice versa. Let me look at mine.
Or somebody look online and see. Just go on their website and check and see. It's here.
I don't know. I see a 40 on here, so I'm assuming it's 40, but I don't know.
It's probably 40. That sounds about right.
Okay, so I'm going to do something really, really simple in Silhouette Studio to show you how to do the bling thing. So I'm going to show you my workflow, but it literally is going to be super simple. Like, I don't know, a circle or something goofy like that. Okay, 40 weight, unbiased says. So let's go back and what do I want to do here?
Were you going to show how to add the bling or oh, you weren't doing that part?
I'm gonna do that too. Now, why do I never figure out how to just show it again? I have to say stop screen, and then I have to add it again. Let's see. Oh, Chris says she remembers teasing you.
That's Chris. Hey, Chris.
About using the entire can of basting per project.
Yes. That was a thing.
Oh, that's funny. Shakatero said, I stabilize the shirt with a fusible mesh cutaway and float a medium cutaway. So
Perfect.
I used a medium mesh cutaway, but I put it with basting spray. And then the other one, I just used a fairly heavy tearaway. Okay, let's see. Why is this being a little pain in the behind? I think I'm going to have to start over here. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Silhouette Studio. This is the business edition. With the business edition, you have your rhinestone panel, and you can also save things as SVGs. In the next level down, you have the rhinestone panel, but you have to be cutting on their machine. You can't save them as SVGs. So I used business edition, and I don't know why this is being this way. Let's just go this way. I probably have it open down there somewhere. Oh, that's what the problem is. There it is. That's the design that I made. Let's go ahead and do a new design. So we're going to make it super duper easy. We are going to type the word go, and then let's make it larger. I'm going to use a different font, and I'm going to change it a color so you can see what I'm doing, and so I can see what I'm doing. Now, if I change it a color, you can see there is a cut. There's an overlap there, and that's basically a cut line. So I want to go ahead and weld this together. So with them both selected, I go up to Object, down to Modify, and then Weld. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and start adding the bling around it. All right, so I want to do an offset of this for the first layer of bling. Hey, Sonia. So if I took any design into Embrilliance from Silhouette Studio, will that stitch out? No, you have to turn it into a stitch file. Like I was showing earlier, you have to turn it into a stitch file. I'll show you here in a minute, Brandy. This is just to make the SVG that you then use to turn it into a stitch file. Okay, so I want an offset of this for the first row of my bling. So I'm going to go right here to where it says offset. We'll click on that. And then on the left side is a true offset. On the right side, they call it an internal offset. Some people call it an inset. We want the offset. Now, with bling, I went ahead and upped the offset from like 0.13 to 0.160 to give a little bit more space so that the bling isn't right up against it, because with all those stitches, sometimes it may not line up perfectly. Alice, that was, I don't even remember the name of it, but I'll find it here again in a little bit. So I'm going to say apply, and then let's go ahead and turn that another color. Let's just do a gray. Okay, so now it's time to put the bling onto the gray layer. So we're going to, with the gray layer selected, we're going to go right here to where it says rhinestones. And this is where there's truly no exact right or wrong way to do these scatters. And I've done them different ways. I don't always stay consistent myself. But what you are going to do is you're going to use this outline effect. It's just going to put rhinestones around the outside of your gray layer. This one would put stones all under the word go. You don't want that. And it would do it linear, so straight across. And this one is radial. See how pretty it goes around it? But there's stones under it. All we want is the stones around it like that. And those look pretty as well. If you want to move them closer, you can, but I like that 0.160 offset for scatter. Okay, what I do want to do though is I want to make my rhinestones closer to one another. So I use 0.025. Patrice uses 0.015, I think. And you can see that moved them a little closer. If you want them closer yet, you can do the 0.015. It's just whatever you like. Okay, so that's our first layer of rhinestones. Now, hey Karen, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the offset and I'm going to click on it. Now my rhinestone layer is selected. With it selected, I'm going to click on offset. I still have my space from one row of rhinestones to the next row at that 0.160. I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to say apply. And then let's turn those gray also. Now it's time, if I want to start using the scatter method where they get wider apart the further you go out, that's where I start this. If you want them all to be the same distance from each other, so you want the rhinestones in this second layer to be the same as the first layer, you don't have to do this, but typically a scatter one is going to look more like this. So instead of my spacing being 0.025, I'm just going to go up to 0.075. Let's see how that looks. Maybe it's too far apart for you. Maybe you want to go in less increments. Maybe you go 0.05. You really just play around with it to see what you like. Maybe I want them further apart. Maybe I want them really far apart. You're just figuring out what suits your taste. So for this one, I'm going 0.075. Actually, let's go up a little bit. Let's go 0.08. Okay, so that second row of rhinestones is still selected. So once again, hey Claudette, once again, I'm going to do an offset. So with it still selected, I click on offset. I click over on the left side and I'm going to leave it at 0.160. Now I've done scatters where each row gets further and further from the prior row, and those are cute too, but for this I like to just keep that consistent 0.160. So I'm going to say apply and I'm going to turn it to color so I can see it. And then we're going to go back to the rhinestone panel and we're going to make the spacing even more. Let's say 0.13. Let's see how that looks. Let's go a little further apart. Let's go 0.15. Okay. I like to have odd numbers of rows, so we're going to do 2 more rows. Hey, Inspired by God Graphics, welcome. So you're just doing the same thing over and over. That row of stones is still selected, so I'm going to offset. I'm going to click on the word offset, and I'm going to keep mine at 160. I'll say apply. I'll make it a color, and then let's spread that out even more. And you can see a lot of repetition here. Let's try 0.225. Let's just try it. Ooh, a little too far apart. Well, actually, that's not so bad. Let's just go with it. So I have 4 rows. Let's offset. Click on the word offset. I'm going to apply it. Turn it to color. And then we're going to make this even farther apart. Let's go all the way up to 0.3 and see what that looks like. That's not bad. Let's go 0.275. And maybe I like that a little bit more. So you can now, if you want to, you can add more rhinestones to this. Let's say you think, oh, there should be a few here or here. Then you can. You can go to rhinestone and you can say, draw rhinestones, freehand. Here's what I like to do though. I like to select all my rhinestones and then I'm going to get rid of the word go. Now, did I get rid of it? Let's turn whatever I have a different color. Okay, go is still in there. I hit the wrong key. Okay, now I think I got rid of it. There we go. So with rhinestones, you need to release them. So we have them all selected, and we're going to say release stones, and you're going to see a little bitty box around every rhinestone. Now, you can no longer do your offset. You can't change your spacing. You have to make sure that what you see is, at least to the point you're at, exactly what you want. Because after you do this, you can't keep doing those other things. So I'm going to say release stones. There's a lot of them, so it's taking a minute, but there they are. And now if I wanted to, I could just copy a stone, Command C, Command V, and then I'm just going to, with my up arrow, I'm going to find it. And then another thing Patrice does is, what is it, Alt?
Make a copy?
What?
Make a copy?
When you're wanting to drag a new stone somewhere, like you pick one and then you drag one off of it.
Yeah, you just press your, if you're on a Mac, you press Option, but on a PC you press Alt.
Okay.
And drag it.
So notice this one is selected. I'm going to hold Option down like she told me, and I'm going to grab it and drag it off. So that adds a new one right on top of it that you can drag away. So let's press Option again and drag another one off. Let's go to this one, click Option, and drag it off. That is so fast. I'm just going to move this one. So if you want to fill in some more, you can fill in to your heart's content. Maybe add one down here. Let's Option, drag it off. And so you can fill them in however you want to. And because this is a very short word, it looks kind of goofy. It's kind of tall and narrow, but I didn't want a big word. Okay, so now we are going to select all of those stones, and I'm going to Shift and click on Go to get rid of it. Now, I'm always nervous. Did I hit the right key? So then I just come over here and I say, okay, well, let's change them a color. And if it doesn't change Go, I successfully got rid of Go, in which case I did. So there's two steps here. With them all selected, you go to Object and Group, then Object and make Compound Path. And most of the time my color goes away. Let me show you what happens if you forget that group function. Okay, so now they're not grouped. Shay, thank you. Ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. Ding 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 ding.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you, Shay. I really need to find that bell. I appreciate it, dear. Okay, if I skip that group function and I go Object, make Compound Path, they might jump around. So watch these stones, see if they kind of jump around. Yeah, totally changed them. So it is very, very important that with them all selected, you go to Object, Group, then Object, make Compound Path, and now I can add a color back to them. Okay, so what I would probably do is I would just save this whole thing, and then I would go back. I'd get rid of the bling. So let's just say File, Save As, and it needs to be an SVG. So we're going to change this to SVG, and then we're going to say Go Bling. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of the bling, and I'm just going to say Save As, Go. And I'll save it as an SVG. Okay, now if I go to Embrilliance, and we don't need all this, but let's get the thing in the middle of the screen. Let's just get rid of this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here to Create Design. I'm going to say to bring in a vector, an SVG, and do not Do not judge my desktop. It's horrible. It is horrible. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. I should have named it A, so it'd be the first thing. But I'm going to go down and look for my go vector. Oh, this is terrible. People hate my desktop. Sharon, I know you're cringing. We're clicking on go. We're opening it, and it comes in at the same size. So now is when we would go back to, we're going to say, draw with columns, and we're going to figure out how we want this to be drawn out. And so maybe I'll just do the G kind of quickly. So let's click, click. I'm not doing corners this time because that is a little bit, thank you, Eve. That is not really quite a corner. Let me see who got him. Gail, Baby Giant Services, another Gail, a third Gail. They love Gails tonight. Man, that is awesome. Marcia, congratulations. Congratulations. And Eves, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So anybody that's a member, I am putting in my shaker tag design tonight. I already have it saved to all the different types, so I'll do it right after the live. Oh, To Be Young says, oh, you don't want to see mine. Okay, so we're just going to keep making this column. I want to stop there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way down here because I want this up and down to be one solid line. Then let's see. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to stop because I want this next one to start here and then goes all the way through there. And no, it doesn't look perfect. It takes me a long time to get them to the state where I want them. But I would move that in. I would actually not have that veer out so far. And then let's see, what can I do? Let's go in further. And let's pull this one to here. And let's pull this handle that way. Okay. Can I move one at a time? On this one, it allowed me to move one at a time. Let's see if this one allows me to do that. Yeah, it's getting a little bit ugly. Getting a little bit ugly. There we go.
Oh,
So we're just gonna do what?
We got a milestone. Miss Jazzy G, she's been here for 10 months.
Oh my goodness. Yay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jazzy G. And I appreciate it. Okay, so I won't do very much more of this. I'm just going to go through this G and then we're going to move on. Okay, so we're going to draw with columns again. And I probably should have brought that down a little further so it'd be under this side one. So this time let's start a little higher. And this is not going to be perfect at all because I just want to finish this part up so that poor Patrice can actually talk.
I don't need to talk.
You know she likes to talk. We all like to talk.
Talk so much. So much.
I should have had that last one down a little bit. This one shouldn't have been right there, so I can fix it later. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And then we're going to take this on through. I don't like the directions I'm going. I'm just kind of in a hurry. But we're going to get over here to this, and then we'll hit enter. And then you see why I skipped. I know that looks terrible. I would fix all that. But I skipped under this so that I could then have this be one smooth line. And then it's time, you know, to put the work in. So we're going to pull that up. We're going to pull this out, and we're just going to do all this to make, you know, the design look really nice. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. So you would repeat this whole thing. Now I would have to smooth that out, and you know I would do all that. But this is what you would do to make your G and your O, and you want to make sure that you have the correct items tucked under. So like I should have moved this further over. I can do that now. Then when I draw my A, I would make sure the A stitches after it, so it's stitching over this little excess over here. Okay. So after we get this made, we would have this for the embroidery part. We'd have the bling for the bling part. I also left the word go with the bling in case, you know, somebody would want to do HTV for the word go if you don't have an embroidery machine or you just don't want to be bothered with it. Sharon, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, let's see if I can get back to where we are. Let's just get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. Okay, now we're back to where we want to be. Sharon, I appreciate that. Let's just remove that. Okay. So Patrice, why don't you show us what you've been working on, and then I'll try to answer. There were a couple of questions earlier about doing something, and we'll see if we can't jump through that real quick.
I'm not really working on anything. I was just trying to save those files so I can upload it to the Google Drive, so that if anybody wanted to be gal pals with us,
yay! 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 Okay. So Brandy's Dandy Crafts, she said InStitch came with her machine. Now, the only thing I've ever used InStitch for is to do wireless transfers. I don't know if InStitch has a digitizing feature to it. Does anybody know that? Hey, Connie. Angel B, if you're still here, do you know if InStitch has a digitizing capability? Oh, okay. Pretty Eyes Covington. Let me look real quick. Let me go back to Silhouette. Let's see. It says it does. Okay. I have never seen it used for that, you know, for that way. Okay. Thanks, Gil McGinnis. Okay, Baby Giant Services says it does. Awesome. Have you used it before, Baby Giant Services, as a digitizing software? Okay, so Pretty Eyes, it was, and that's hard to read, Twinkle Christmas. Okay, now somebody else asked, you have a little bit still learning. Excellent. When you're in there, does it look anything like when Patrice uses Chroma or Embrilliance? And is the digitizing part of InStitch free, or do you have to pay for it? You're welcome. Now, somebody asked about doing applique, double applique in Stitch Artist 1 or 2. If you have Stitch Artist 2, can you just upgrade to Stitch Artist 3? Yes, definitely. And you want to make sure that that is, if you decide to upgrade, that that's all you get is the upgrade instead of paying for the full thing is Stitch Artist 3. Now, to do a double applique in Stitch Artist, unless you're going to make your design in Silhouette first and do an offset of the design, then you would have to have Stitch Artist 3 to inflate your design for that offset. But I really like using Silhouette to do a lot of things. So I would probably put the word go in Silhouette, and then I would use the offset feature for the offset of it. I would save it as an SVG. I would take that into Stitch Artist, and then you would not need to have 3. Let's see. Can you make applique with Stitch Artist 1? Okay. And do you guys like candle thread better than Richword? I don't see a big difference between Richword and candle thread. Some people do. I like them both. They both work well on my machine. So I think it's, you know, a Chevy and a Ford, and some people prefer one over the other. Have you ever used Richword?
Before I say that, I just want to remind you guys to hit the thumbs up because there's 165 of you guys in here. And guess what? That's not good. Make sure you hit the thumbs up like this, please. Wait,
Thank you, Patrice. It's good that we have 165.
No, it doesn't work. But yeah. Now my thumb won't work because it's so
there it goes.
It's so sad that people have not hit the thumbs up button, but make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Okay. So my preferred thread, I love Madeira. I love candle thread. Richword, it's okay because I got like a whole bunch of it when they sent me that pull-in. It's okay. Like it's not bad, but I honestly prefer candle or Madeira.
Candle. So you have the little spools of the Richword.
Yeah, like not the small ones, kind of like about, I guess they're not too small, but like, yeah.
Big enough that you could put them on your machine.
Yeah, and I do prefer candle thread. Yeah. Though. And I love Madeira, but candle thread is a lot cheaper than Madeira. Y'all know that.
I've never tried Madeira, and I know it's expensive, so.
Yeah, like.
Oh, thanks, Keisha. Okay, so let's see if we can do the applique in Stitch Artist 1. Dee Dee wants to know, can you make an applique with Stitch Artist 1? If not, what is it good for? Okay, so let's go to the demo version because I'm working on something where I show the different features, and the only way I keep it all straight is to use the demo version. So we're going to say Stitch Artist 1 only. We'll say okay. And so I have this feature right here, and I have that feature. Okay, so you click on this Create Designs, and then click over here on this TT, and then let's just type in the word hello. Make it, you know, close to the size you want it. I'm going to put it in the middle because I like mine in the middle. Then there's 2 ways to do applique. The fast way is not the way I prefer, but you click on this right here, digitize an applique. Then you can come over here and tell it what outer stitch you want. I usually do satin stitch. You can change the width of the satin stitch if you want it larger, so you don't have to cut your fabric as closely. But that E's not looking too good there. Let's move it down a little bit. Now you can change your points, editing points, but I don't want to get into that. So there's that. I always like to use a material stitch as well. And so here's what we have. In Stitch Artist 1 alone. Now you will not be able to color sort if you don't have essentials. So now the issue is,
are you showing it on the screen?
Oh.
It's me that you're showing on the screen.
Okay. Let's do this over. Do this over.
Your screen, please. Kristen said, I love how Marilyn has Patrice big and we can't see what she's now we're trying to upload this to what in the world?
See how I do her? See how I do her?
tell them, but nobody believes me. Nobody believes me. Honey.
Brandy's Dandy says, oh, I was so lost. I'm sure. Okay, so let's bring up my demo version. And does Dee Dee, do you also have essentials? Because essentials will make it easier. Or do you just have Stitch Artist 1? Let me wait a minute and see. Because Essentials is going to let you color sort. Like I showed you earlier, you can have Stitch Artist 3. And if you don't have Essentials, you're not going to color sort. Ron, I think I got that message too about candle thread being unsafe. I think I got that message too. Okay, she has both. So we're going to click on Essentials and Stitch Artist 1. Perfect. This is going to make a very easy applique. Okay, you guys can see it now. We're going to click right here on Create Designs. Then we're going to go right over here to this TT, stands for True Type, but it also works with open type fonts. We're going to type the word hello. And we'll say, okay. Then let's make it bigger. Whoops. Now let's move it to the middle. And now we're ready to turn this into the applique. So it is selected. We're going to go right up here. Our stitches are showing. If this isn't showing, just click on this. Clicking on this create button often solves problems. I don't have SA1, just trying to see. Okay, no problem. I still want this to be taller. So you could click right here and I can change the border stitch to a satin border stitch. I can make it thicker. And then right now it is set to have a position stitch or a placement stitch, but not a material or tack down stitch. So I'm going to click on material stitch also known as tack down stitch. And here's what we're looking like so far. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Oh,
I see my bellets hanging on my pegboard.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Esther, thank you so much. And Brandy, thank you very much. Okay. So with this, you have your position or placement stitch that goes first. Then the next stitch, which is slightly darker yellow, is your tack down or your material stitch. Then you would take your fabric off, you would trim away the excess, and then you have this satin border stitch. And then it goes to the next letter. That is very inefficient. So let's just click on this to get out of it. So what you can do if you have essentials is you can go up here to utility and you can say color sort. Once you do that, it asks you if you want to put it in a new view. I always do, because if it's messed up, I want to have my old one to rely on. And it reduced your color changes. And on a single needle, this is really big. It reduced it by 12. So I'm going to say new view. And now if we do the stitch simulator, it's going to put all your placement stitches on. That's going to show you where to put your fabric. Then it's going to stitch all your fabric to your whatever you have under it. And then lastly, it's going to do all these satin border stitches at one time. So yes, you can do the applique with Stitch Artist Level 1 when you're bringing in those fonts that are on your machine. Hey, Radiant Rose, welcome. Could you manually sort the colors? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I've never tried that. Okay, so I don't think when you use their applique method, I don't think so. So let's use the method I would prefer, which is, it's going to be a short word though, because I don't want to do too many. So I'm just going to do the word go again. Make it larger. And let's put it in the center. So I'm going to say that I want a run stitch on this. That's going to be my placement stitch. So let's click on this. Whoops. Let's click on this and let's put a run stitch on it. And that is a single time around with a length of 2.5. I'm fine with that. So now we are going to copy this. I'm going to hit Command C for copy, Command V for paste. You cannot tell over here that you have a new word, but you can over here. So now let's change the color to a different color. And it doesn't matter what color. That looks cute. Let's do that. And then let's turn the O the same color. You click down here on its current color. Now I can go to palettes and see what colors I'm using, and I can just pick that same green really easily. Okay. Now, whoops. Now let's see. Always go up here to the select tool. Now we are going to copy and paste again. And oh, I copied both sets. I don't want this run stitch. Hold on, I copied too much. Delete, delete. Okay, so now we are going to make this another color yet. And we can go back to the color that was used before. That's not a problem. And we are going to add a satin border. And then I could change, you know, the width of it if I want to. I make it larger. Let's just go up to 4.6. And then this one, let's change it. Oh, okay. I'm seeing the problem right now with thinking that maybe we could do this. Oops. Okay, let's add the satin border. And what did I take that other one up to? 3.6. Let's just say that's good enough. Okay, so here's how it would stitch out. Look there, there's our placement stitch. Here is our tack down stitch. And then here's the satin border. So doing it manually yourself, like I said earlier, that's the way I like to do it because I can manipulate things better. If you're not using their automatic applique thing, it's the order you have them over here, and it works. So Kristen, that is awesome. You're welcome, Dee Dee. But if you're using theirs, which is super quick and easy, you cannot sort those individually because it just looks different. Let's type go. And let's use their applique. And see, I can't sort anything by just clicking on those. It's not working for me. But if you do your own applique manually, then yes, you could. That would work. All righty. Any other questions about Embrilliance or Bling and embroidery, about Ricoma, about Chroma, anything? Can I ask what other things you can do with Stitch Artist 1? Okay, so I can show you in the demo if you, okay, if you have essentials, you can, okay, if you have essentials, you are mainly just changing other people's designs. If you have Stitch Artist level 1, you can make your own designs. And so here's the difference is with Stitch Artist level 1, you have this create button right here, and you can draw things with circles, and you have these various stitches. If you only have essentials, you can change colors, you can kind of slightly change things, but you are relying on somebody else's design. Because if I go back to, let's see, the demo, and I say essentials, there is no create button. So you're just bringing in a design that's somebody else's and adjusting it a little bit. So SVG can only come in, yes, Stitch Artist 2 is the lowest level where you can bring in an SVG. Is Stitch Artist too good if I have no plans to digitize? Ooh, no, I don't think so. Patrice, what do you think? Stitch Art, if you're not going to bring in designs and digitize and do your own creations, then probably all you need is essentials.
Probably. That's probably all you, if you're not planning on doing anything, but I mean, you just never know when you might have to do something to somebody's design that you may get. You just never know. So I mean,
now I think that so you can add letters this way with essentials. So who said they can't see Sherry? She might be behind. Hang on, Sherry, it comes back. Can somebody in the chat let her know that it comes back and that maybe she's behind? Okay, so in essentials, you can bring in somebody else's design and you can add a name to it because you do have this little A tool. So, you know, I could type Marilyn and I could use whatever fonts that I have. And this is the demo, and it only has a few fonts in it. But I assume that in Essentials, you can add other BX fonts. Unbiased in Essentials, you can add BX fonts, can't you? And they're really inexpensive. You can get some super cute ones for $2 and something. Yeah. Thank you, Kristen. Adding names. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. All righty.
great lesson, Bear. Great lesson.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want to show us your lovely design that you did tonight again, Patrice, for all the people that weren't here?
So we made this one, and it has like a bling. This one has like the outline around the entire design. And with the outline, it's it's about 11.25 inches wide. So, you know, if you have a small shirt, that may not necessarily be good for a small shirt, or you just have, you know, it'll just be a full design across, but super cute. And then I made myself one. This is for Dims. Now, so that you'll see it, like it has a full outline. And then the one that I made myself, I just put the bling around the heart.
It looks so good.
So if you're a member on my channel, I already listed it in the members area. If you're a member on Marilyn's channel, Marilyn will list it because I already emailed you the zip drive so that you can list it. Oh, you really just you don't even need to, if you want to just use the link from my Google Drive and put it in
my, okay.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that, thank you.
But isn't that so cute? Even the heart blinged out is cute too.
That is adorable. I can't wait to make my Gal Pal shirt. Can't wait. Okay, so there were a few questions. Okay. So SVG can only come in Stitch. Okay, so yeah, you have to have at least Stitch Arts level 2 to bring in SVGs. Patricia, no, you probably don't. Randy has a million questions. Adding names, Jesse said yes. Essentials is great for adding names. I know there's some questions after this. Let's see. Do you have to have Stitch Artist 3 to split a design? And I'm not sure what she's talking about. Do you know, Patrice?
I know, for repositional hoops.
Oh, maybe. Patricia, are you talking about to make it where you could use a repositional hoop? Gwen says, can I do the bling with a pre-made design, or do I need to do an applique? So if you have a pre-made bling design, you mean? Or are you talking about a different design? You could take it into Silhouette, another design, and you could probably trace it to get the outline and then do bling around that. I think you could do that. It does not have to be applique. So Brandy says, the one that Patrice has on, can that just be brought in if I wanted to do that? Yes. So she's already digitized it, Brandy. So Brandy, do you know which extension your machine uses? I think DST. I think Stacy has that same machine. It was DST or PES. And so when she sells her designs, she has them in a lot of different extensions. So you could bring that into your machine and stitch it out, yes. Thank you, Deborah Browning. Everybody says thank you, Patrice.
The SVG is in there too. So like if you just want to, do gal pals, if you just want that, you can do the SVG. Now I do have a heart in there that I just cut out. You don't necessarily need the heart if you're gonna put like the bling heart around it. You don't have to even do that part. But I did include it.
I'm doing it all. I'm doing it all.
Marilyn.
Anna says, can you vinyl? So I'm going to guess what your meaning is. Can you have vinyl in place of the embroidery? And if the person that has the design sells it like that, so like when I do my Seek Refuge or my Do It Scared, I'll be selling it with embroidery, bling, and then the embroidery part I'll also have an SVG cut file. And I think Patrice does that on a lot of hers too.
I started back. I didn't do it before. Like I did it before, and then I stopped, and now I started back doing it again.
Okay, yeah, that's what she's talking about because she said I don't do embroidery yet. So yes, if the design includes the cut file for that word, you can. Okay, Patricia said yes, that's what she's talking about. I've never digitized for a repositional hoop, and I haven't seen Jess in here. I know she uses repositional hoop. So sorry, Patricia, I don't know. Does anyone in the chat know what you need to be able to split a design so that it would work on a repositional hoop?
And Stitch Artist 3. I don't have my other computer to see Embrilliance on there, but
Creative Notion says, Patrice, what's the smallest size for stitching? So it'll be one size. What size is the stitch part of that file?
Yeah, it's only one size. So that is about 10.5 inches wide by, let me tell you exactly what it is. It's 10.5 inches wide, 10.504 inches wide by 5.327 inches high.
Okay. Thank you.
And because the bling fits around, the bling fits around that size perfectly.
And Nicole is asking, can you do this file with HTV, Patrice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you're welcome, Robin. Okay, if she's asking about breaking paths, that is an SA3. So I'm not sure if that's what's used for splitting them for repositional hoop. Karen, do you know?
Oh, Karen was saying that the multi-positional hoop setting is in the utility section.
Oh, okay. Let's see. They say, thank you for the beautiful design. DST, and the other one you mentioned. Okay, Brandy. Thanks, Stacy. You're welcome, DB. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Nicole said, thank you. I don't have an embroidery machine, but I want that design. Hey, Lena. Utility section. Okay, I might start looking into that. Good for a 2X. Oh, Brandy, yeah, it'd be fine for so it's 10.5 to 11 with the bling. So, I mean, Patrice is little and it looks great on hers. It would look fine on a 2XL.
This is an extra large on this one. That's an extra large on it.
Yeah, that looks great.
I don't think it looks bad.
Silhouette reads embroidery files, so any design can be brought in and turned into an SVG for your cutting machine. Yes, Patrice learned that.
The other week, yeah.
She showed us recently. If you add the repositional hoop to your preference on Embrilliance, it will set it up for you, and you only need essentials. Wow. Rachel, can you do a video, a tutorial on that, a pre-recorded video? There's a lot of people that would love to know how to do that. Hey, Spilling the Diversity. Let's see. Ernique says, essentials is sufficient for most users to split designs for these hoops. Enthusiasts can also be used for more advanced multi-position layout options. Okay. Kristen.
So big.
Oh, ha! But you're so cute.
Oh,
Kristen also said something like that. DB says thank you to you and I.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jennifer. Stitch them in sequence. There's Kristen's answer again. Okay. You only need enthusiast. See, I don't have enthusiast to use multi-positional hoop setting. I don't have enthusiast. Can you use a mighty hoop for any embroidery machine? No. Like the Poulin EOC06. I don't know if they have any for single needle machines. Maybe some. Now, Sharon got something from them for a single needle machine. It's a little different. Sharon, if you're still in here and you want to explain anything about that, please feel free to. But you can't use them on any machine. You have to go to Mighty Hoop's website and look and see if they have your machine listed. Kristen says you're gonna have to make me big next time on your channel is payback.
Exactly.
No.
Kristen's right. Thank you for that, Kristen, for that suggestion.
Karen says, sorry, I think enthusiast was for the advanced multi-positional. Oh, okay. So not necessarily except for the, like Kristen was saying earlier, the advanced ones. You're welcome. You're welcome, Bonetta. Thank you. Okay. So what's on tap for tomorrow night, Patrice?
So tomorrow night, we're going to be making some shaker tags. And we're also going to be working with some big bling. I have a jacket that I already got to put some big bling on it. So that's what we're going to be doing. What silhouette do I need to do the bling? You need, if you don't have, or if you have a Cameo, the designer edition is perfect for that. But I always recommend the business edition of Silhouette Studio because that's where you'll be able to access your the bling panel or the rhinestone panel, and you'll be able to export your designs outside of Silhouette Studio. So that's one of the most important things because with any other edition, you can't do that.
Yeah. And that's a biggie. That is a biggie. If you want to share files with other people that don't use that Cameo, then you need to be able to export them as SVGs. If you ever want to sell them, you need to be able to export them as SVGs. Cheryl Green says, when creating your own design, you only need essential to use repositional hoop. Thank you. Sharon Davenport says, monster hoops for single needle machines by Dime. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, good. Sharon says, I'm all caught up. Excellent. We're just happy you're here. What do we need for Shaker Friday? Okay, so for the shakers tomorrow night, you need some type of clear plastic that goes over the top. And I bought this years ago, years and years and years and years ago. Okay, this is going to sound like your grandma. We got a brand new kitchen table, and I had little kids. I was like, they are not going to scratch it. They're not going to stain it. I bought this at Walmart and put it over our new kitchen table till they were, 6, 7 years old. So I don't know where else you can get this other than Amazon. That's a little late for that. Does anybody know if you can get this clear top vinyl at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or one of those stores? So you'll need something clear for over the top. Then you will also need some type of either faux leather, marine vinyl, even denim. I did one with denim for your back fabric. So you have your background fabric, you have your top, then you need thread and your machine and some glitter. And I'll be posting this design here in just a little bit tonight. So you would at least have one. That's it.
They said Hobby Lobby. You can get the plastic from Hobby Lobby. Or maybe even how Dollar Tree has like those plastic tablecloths.
They do?
Something like that. My Dollar Tree has plastic tablecloths.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what this was, basically. I mean, that's what it was sold for, was protecting furniture and all that stuff. Oh, great idea, Karen. So you know how when you buy some new sheets and comforters and all that, they come with the thick plastic over them? She plans to try that. Sylvia says you can get a shower curtain. It works really well. Tablecloth protector, yes. Shower curtain for real. Okay. And Coretta says she purchased it from Hobby Lobby. Oh, yep. Kristen was wondering about that as well. Okay. So your background fabric, it's going to go on the front and the back. Your clear top, your embroidery machine, single needle, flatbed, upright, whatever. And some shaker, some glitter. I would use chunky glitter. And then whatever you want to put through the hole, and then something to punch the hole out with. And Chris said, yes, clear shower curtains from the Dollar Tree. Why didn't I think about that? All right. Patrice says she's done that with the sheet covers. Excellent. Okay, so tomorrow night, shaker tags. Next Thursday, there's about 5 of us that are going to sew zipper pouches. And then that next night, Gal Pal.
Yes, I'm excited. Next week, Friday, is Valentine's, y'all. So I'm excited. I'm going to wear my Valentine's sweatshirt. It's going to be so cute. Oh, I'm excited.
I am too. Can't wait to make mine either.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, Brandy wants to know what time you're going to be coming on.
At 7 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
7. Unless, drama with me getting home from work. But it should be fine. We should be on time. So, yeah.
I'll bet you could use sequins as glitter. I don't have any, but I imagine you sure could. That's a good idea, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's a good idea.
No. Okay. Sewing next Thursday, Kristen. So hopefully we will see you guys all there. I did have a question about branching, why something I did in Embrilliance didn't branch right, but I'm gonna try to figure it out on my own. And if I don't, then here within the next few weeks, I'll get help from you guys in the chat. So I don't think I have anything else other than get up on your medical screenings. If you haven't had those medical screenings, knowledge is power. Get them scheduled.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Nothing else?
No, just remember.
Oh, look over here.
Just remember to be a kind human. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All righty. Well, thank you guys for coming tonight. We appreciate it. And hopefully we see you tomorrow night in Patrice's live. It's going to be fun. So we will see you then, guys. Also, if you are a channel member, be on the lookout. Probably most of you that are channel members here are also on Patrice's, but her design, and then also the little shaker tag design. I'll send that out in a little bit, and then maybe when we start tomorrow, I'll put the steps in a members post also. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Y'all.